Hey traders, Mike Katz here coming to you with today's trader takeaways. Spiders today were a little more muted. Pre-market we had a pretty big dip and that was due to the Syria news, Trump tweeting at Russia, telling them we got really smart and cool missiles, watch out. And that kind of spooked the markets. But I've been watching the markets and kind of making these higher lows on the bigger time frame. So I scooped some shares up pretty early in the morning. And when it started going up, I actually bought some more on the pullback here, thinking maybe we'll get a break of 266, and it didn't go. So I puked everything out here. I'm done with it. Made a little bit of money, and that was that. But I was trying to see if I want to leg into a position because on a larger time frame, this does look like it's making these, ascending. Whereas the trend line here, it looks like it's making these ascending lows, and we got this here. So it hasn't really proven itself that it wants to go up, but it's discounted some of the negative news we've had over the last couple of days. So that's why I was focusing alongside a little bit today on this, and it kind of worked. But off the highs, I didn't make as much as I was up earlier. So this will be interesting. A lot of the tech stocks that were weak last couple of weeks, they've been acting better. So we'll be interested to see which way the market wants to go. I'm not taking a position in this right now, and more reactive. And overnight we can have further news one way or another. But it just seems like the China news has been kind of mitigated. Tech craziness that we've had a couple weeks ago, that's been doing better. Right now we got Syria in the headlines, but we'll see. I'm watching this 266 level, and and depending on how we behave over the next couple of days, I might put some trades on. But overall, today was pretty muted. The spiders had a $2 range inside day within the previous day's bar, and I was focused on a couple of names, cover a couple of swing trades, and let's go over that real quick. So Watt was pretty active for me yesterday. Today was day 2, and they had news that was just a rehash of previously known news that they got approval. So this thing runs up in pre-market yesterday, and it was just a selling opportunity. They're still very, very poorly run company, no revenues. I think they have like $30,000 in revenues, and they lose millions and millions and millions of dollars. So this is nowhere near ready to go up. This is just a rehash of previously known news. So this is a pretty easy short. Got involved yesterday, and then it was just sideways all day. So I took it home. Today I covered half. I still have a little bit, but that's what was going on today with Watt. And I went over to spiders. What else? CNET got in play today. This was a day 2. So if you look at CNET, former runner, this one ran from 1 to 12 and comes back down to 2. But if we look here at this time, we looked it up, and they had warrants that they issued, and that's what was this. All the selling was due to. They had $6 exercise price, so there was definitely a lot of selling there. I didn't see any filings for now, but when it got a pop early yesterday, I avoided it, but today I did actually trade it versus when it went to $3. I missed the early morning one. Let's look at that in the morning. Let's look at the 1 minute. So I had this on my radar early in the morning, but the drop was very quick, and you could see that either you were in it when it was going through and very strong, or you had to be very quick on the way down. It never gave a bounce with a lower high and an entry for me, so it was very quick. I missed it, but then when I saw it later on in the day, it had gotten another pop here, and kind of felt like it was just a weak pump, probably. Somebody mentioned it in the chat room or something. So I shorted it here versus highs, and then it basically craps out, had a big puke down here, pulled the rug on it, and then stayed weak the rest of the day. So this was a good one. What else? Tandem, something I've been watching for a few days here. This has been grinding up on the daily, so I was very careful not to be too early on this, but they raised at $2 way back, so all the investors are happy, so they're not under pressure. But today it kind of jammed pretty hard at $8. I wanted to be involved on the short side versus $8 and given some space, but I missed it. I wasn't involved here. Comes back down and then gives me another opportunity here. And what I saw here was basically, let's go over this here. If you look at this volume profile area in the background there, that was mostly due to the trading in the morning. And there was a big volume node here saying that once we dropped below it, it was telling me that there was a lot of selling going on here and the longs were stuck. So when it came back up, it was interesting to, that it gave me another shot to short this thing. And when it started stalling out here on the 1 minute, you can see that it had a move up, pulls back, a strong move up, with these little higher lows, lower highs, and then pulls back. And then this time it got jammed here, double top into this area where it consolidated into VWAP, and that's where I started looking at this on the short side. Comes back, gives a double bottom here versus another higher low, and starts to hug VWAP here, and this is where I start putting it on versus above 8, and it's never out of the money on this trade, and comes down, starts to hold below VWAP, goes back up, fails here at VWAP, fails here at this pivot, couldn't get back up here, and then just you could see that it just goes lower and lower, and comfortably makes a lower low, comes back, gets rejected by this consolidation, goes down, comfortably makes a lower low again, comes back up, comfortably gets rejected here. So once I got in here, was really not under much pressure to cover my short. Covered half to lock some in and then taking some home. Tomorrow this will be interesting. On the daily we could see that there was a very big topping tail and a lot of volume on that. As much volume today as there was yesterday on a big green bar. That's a pretty big anomaly. So I'm going to be watching this for the next couple of days. It's not a very liquid name. 5 million shares traded today. I anticipate next couple of days will be less and less. But I don't know. I'll watch it, see if it wants to pull back to $6, and we'll go from there. So Tandem, and then I want to go over Facebook. Facebook has just been giving me a hard time last few days, and I'm just probably going to put this on my do not trade list for a while. It was good when it was dropping here and the trend was strong. You used to get a lot of range and a lot of follow through. And what I'm noticing recently here is that I'm just getting chopped up. Stops are being taken out. One spot where I tried shorting was here. It looks like it's coming down, reversal, big bounce. Nice little bounce here into resistance. Shorted here versus there. Goes down, lower low, and then it probably just took out some stops here, reverses, takes out stops here, takes me out as well, and then boom, pull the rug and washes out. I was pretty upset here. Had a pretty nice sizable position, and it probably gave back a third of my day just because of this one trade. And so just how it's behaving now. So I'm going to back off of this, see if it wants to get trendier, get more decisive on the direction. I got a feeling that with Zuckerberg no longer going to be on the hill testifying, this thing could just turn into a tighter range, and maybe it gets rejected on the daily here, maybe not, but for now it's just been difficult for me to trade, so I'm going to back off of this one for a while. And yeah, overall the market was quieter today. It was more of a snoozer. A couple of names in play that were decent. There was one that I missed, VHC. These guys, they had again news that old news PR today that they want to patent a certain amount of money. I think it was 150 million or something from Apple, but that was old news. and they had an ATM that was in effect. So by the time I saw this, it was already down here. So I figured, okay, maybe it opens up, gives me a good push into $6 where I can, hit it versus pre-market highs in there, but it didn't. If you caught it early in pre-market, you had a good entry. Otherwise, it just faded the rest of the day. But this was on my radar, and I didn't get any fills here, so this was a missed opportunity. But other than that, not bad. Finishing green, and we'll see what the next couple of days bring. Thank you guys for watching. Mike Katz with 7 Points Capital, bringing you today's trader takeaways.